Hey guys, so this is Dimitri and welcome back to another HeroiCKnights review. So Corsair recently released sort of an update to their very popular keyboards, the K60 and the K90. So what we have here is a black anodized version of the K70, a silver edition of the K70, and a bigger brother, the K95. Now you're definitely going to have to pay a premium for these keyboards. These are not cheap. $150 for the K95 and the black anodized version of the K70, and $130 for the silver edition of the K70. Now these keyboards have received a lot of attention from the gaming community. That's because Corsair has taken the feedback that was given based on their K60 and K90 designs, and they've improved with these releases by adding all these features that we've been asking for. So aside from the regular MX Cherry Red switches, which are excellent for gaming, very fast response time, aluminum body, which is a really solid construction throughout, we have customizable individual LED keys. So now you can either turn them off or on for any key that you want, which is not really practical for gaming, but still pretty awesome to map out your WASD zone, your killing zone, and any other often used keys. Now all these keyboards have the MX Cherry Red switches, identical from the predecessor. They are linear and don't have tactile feedback, which I personally find best for gaming. They also need only 40 grams of force to be registered, so it's a very light key. Now those who have not used linear switches in the past, you will find that your typing will improve and your gaming response will also improve. That's because the key bounce is almost instantaneous, the keys never jam, and there's just no reason to stick to the conventional rubber dome switches if your main purpose is gaming. Now the K70 and K95 have a few new features that we didn't see on the K60. First, the keyboard now is 100% mechanical, whereas the F keys on the K60 were not. Second, the color option. Now we have the black version, which looks fantastic, although it doesn't conceal fingerprints as well as the silver. Third is key illumination, which is red for the black anodized version and blue for the silver K70 and white on the black K95. Now the red on black and white on black combination is really something very pleasing to the eye. The blue on silver, however, seems significantly brighter and was actually very uncomfortable to look at full brightness. It was very distracting. Now luckily you can turn down the brightness to preserve your eyesight. Now the extra cherry is that each key LED can either be turned on or off, so allowing your preference to be the boss of what's lit up and what's not. Now the issue of non-uniform backlight is present here, despite the high price. That's because the LED is located on the top of each key, therefore introducing a brightness gradient as you move down the key. It's not so much visible for individual letters, but very much noticeable with the tab, shift, entire numbers line. And the fourth new feature is the BIOS switch. Now, first notice the numbers 1, 2, 4, and 8. These represent your response time, so 1, 2, 4, and 8 millisecond response time. These might be useful to synchronize the response time of your mouse, but in reality you most likely won't even notice the difference. However, the last switch is the BIOS switch, which Corsair has added to allow compatibility with older BIOS. You most likely will never have to use this, but it's still there in case you are trying to enter the BIOS using the usual conventional F5 or delete keys and nothing's happening. So switching on this BIOS makes your keyboard compatible with that BIOS. Now right there beside it is the USB port, and this is excellent to have because it connects through its own cable, so users aren't limited with the type of devices you can connect. Also, each keyboard has a very comfortable armrest, which is rubberized and has a slight texture which prevents your palms from sticking to the body. And we also have a set of media controls with a volume wheel. Now the K95, as you can see, has an overkill of programmable buttons. On the left side, a total of 18 G keys with 3 profiles, so you do the math of how many combinations are possible. Well, 54 in total, and if anybody can utilize and populate those programmable buttons, you're a champ. Now the K70 comes with an extra set of textured gaming keys with a key remover that will help you contain your fingers within your killing zone with a slight curve on the key and sort of this anti-slip texture. However, we don't have anywhere to put the keys that are not used, and it would be awesome to be able to mount these to the back of the keyboard, meaning you'll never lose them. Now when it comes to anti-ghosting, the K70 features full anti-ghosting, so you can literally press the entire keyboard at the same time and each key is going to be registered. Whether it's useful or not, that's up to you. The K95, however, has 20 key rollover, meaning you can only use 20 keys simultaneously and the next key is not going to be registered. So you'll definitely not be having any issues by crouching, throwing a grenade, turning on your flashlight, firing, looking through binoculars, and things like that. So then this raises the question of what is wrong with the keyboard. I mean, we have mechanical switches, excellent quality aluminum construction, media controls, and individually lit LED keys, and a comfortable armrest that doesn't take too much real estate on your desk. For the K70 keyboard, we have extra set of gaming keys. For the K95, which is more focused for strategy and MMOs, a lot of programmable buttons, and all have full USB pass-through, which kind of makes this keyboard sort of an ideal candidate for any type of game. Now, although Corsair is not releasing these keyboards with any other switches, which could be seen as a negative, I find that MX Cherry Reds are appropriately placed here for gaming and also for typing. So this really brings down the question of price into this picture, as it's a hefty amount to spend on the keyboard. But you sure won't be disappointed if you do get any of these keyboards, and we're giving them the Hardrock Knux damn good award. So this concludes our review of the K70 and K95 keyboards. If you were to get any of these keyboards, which one would you get and why? Leave your comments down below, and we'll see you in the next one.